welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I am making another Christmas card. If you saw my previous Christmas card video, I did jelly printing and then cut some backgrounds out of that, and this is where these strips of paper came from. So I've just had them sitting here and I really like the colors and I just kind of wanted to use them up, so I figured I would weave a background out of them, trying to do a little bit of variety of color so they're not all the same, so that the weave is more noticeable, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'm just going to weave them up into a background and turn it into a Christmas card. Don't really have a plan other than let's put this together. It is kind of hard to keep this square when you're making it. So if you try to do this, try to keep it square from the beginning. Really watch it. Otherwise you will get off, and I get off. I try to cure it, but it's really hard once it's all woven to fix it because it's kind of in there tight and there's a lot of friction going on. So anyway, just a helpful hint if you decide to do this. I don't know, I think it's kind of fun to, I like weaving anyway, so I think it's kind of fun. I won't make you watch me weave the whole thing. I think I edit it here in a second, just because it did take a little while to get it, and I did the maximum width I could do with the shorter strands just to make it a rectangle for a card. Alright, so once I get it all done, you see me here trying to push them as close together as possible. I'm going to take my glue and glue the edges down. So I'll show you here. So I'm just going to pull up each of the edges and just glue it so that it sticks and holds everything in place. Because you can see that one on the end. Even as I'm doing that, it's kind of moving, so I'm going to have to put my pin away because I think I had a little bit of a clog in my glitter glue. So there, now I've got to push it back down, get it all lined up, and then I'll just push all those down, and I put weight on it. And I don't make you watch me do it, but I do all the way around all four sides, and then I do the back side, because the back side has them too. So, yeah, you have to do both sides. And once they're all done, now I'm going to trim up the little bits on the edges. You can see them. It's cardstock, so it's they're kind of flipping off as I cut them. They went everywhere, I think. And I don't know if you can tell yet, but it does get a little crooked. Now this is a piece of Brayered Off paint, just clean up paper that was created while doing the jelly prints with the cards, so it's got the right colors on there. So here you can see I'm trying to square it up, and I'm going to end up trimming it a little bit, but it doesn't cure the problem. I don't know if leaving it would have been better. I think I was going to draw the line and take it to my paper trimmer, and then I just decided to cut it right there with my X-Acto. Anyways, I gave up. Like, it's going to be crooked. It's just going to be crooked. So I'm going to go around and ink everything just to have... I was thinking I was going to put it directly on that paper, the Brayered Off paper, and so I needed a dark line in between. But I felt like it was so busy that even with this ink, I don't feel like it's enough of a division. But if I'd have left it, you wouldn't have noticed how crooked that is. So if I'd have just stuck it on there, no one would have been the wiser. Here I'm adding a little bit more ink with a brush marker, because I think at this point I'm still thinking I'm just going to put it straight onto that blue paper. But I still feel like there's not enough of a separation. But in the meantime, I decide to square up my paper and get rid of the white edges, or at least on 2 corners, just so that I have an idea if I have enough of the color to actually create a decent border. Alright, so here I pull out a sheet of white, I do the white and the blue, and then the woven piece. I like that better. So this is where it's very noticeable that it's crooked if you look too hard. So nobody look too hard, and we'll be fine. This is score tape. When I bought it, I was like, oh, this one's a good price, I'll get it. I did not realize that it was so skinny. That's why it was cheaper. It was like half the width of the last score tape I bought. Still works, it's just harder to work with because it's so skinny. Alright, so I'm going to stick that right on the corner. Just giving it a little bit of a white border, but you can see there, it's already can tell it's crooked. So I went to trim it there and I'm like, well, that's way crooked. Let's trim it from the other side first. It's handmade, people, handmade. And I go ahead and give this a black edge with the marker as well. Besides, if you bought something like this in the store, it would not be hand woven, it would be printed on there digitally, and they could make it perfectly square. Alright, so now we're going to put it on there. Just trying to decide how much I want. And again with the skinny score tape. I have since gone out and bought me a wider one. I think it's like 1/8 of an inch or something. I don't know. It feels really skinny. Alright, so now we have this. What are we going to do with it? Oh, one more ink marker. Dark edges, there we go. Okay, so I drew this kind of wonky Dr. Seuss type tree, and I did it up in white, and I just felt like it was too plain for the card. I mean, the white was okay, but it just didn't, it felt cheap, like, you know, so I wanted it to feel richer. And I had this cotton coffee filter that had cleaned up paint on it, and it was in contrasting color, kind of contrasting, red. So I thought maybe I would put that on there, but then I wasn't 100% happy with that either. Push all my debris out of the way. So I pulled out some gold paint, and I'm telling you, I always put out way too much. I'm just not good at that. That's why I like the idea of paint pots. You know, the jars of paint. They just dry up too fast. So. So basically I'm putting gold everywhere. Alright, so I set it on there. Not 100% happy with that. You didn't see it, power of editing, but I actually hit it with the heat gun to dry it. And I decided it would be a little bit transparent, so I'm gonna stick it onto some cardstock, some white cardstock, so that it is brighter. And I get a little too rough. I wasn't thinking this was like tissue paper. I thought coffee filters were stronger. And I'm rubbing it down because it's kind of bumpy stuff. And yeah, I did that. So now I have to cure my tree, tip of my tree. Yeah. We'll work it out. So I dry that off, and then I'm going to go around with a marker. Curing a little spot that wasn't sticking down well enough. So I go ahead and cut that out, and I stick it on there, and it's too much. It's busy. So I pull out even more gold paint. Yeah, I think that's next. More gold paint, and cover it a lot more. So there we go. Alright, so that is dry. And I decided it needed something that said Merry Christmas, and I have this washi tape. That's blue washi tape that I thought kind of went with the idea. Alright, so I'm going to glue the tree on so I can decide where that washi tape's going to land. And then I'm going to put it right across there. Okay, so when I go to put it on the card back, I decided to give the card a kind of bronze or gold colored pen, and I'm just going to draw a line around the card just to kind of frame it. I'm not measuring it. This is all, you know, just eyeballing it. So then I'm going to set that there, and then I'm going to have a little box at the bottom. And again, not measuring, just going for it. I mean, I plan on putting the word Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or something in there, but didn't measure to make sure the stamp would fit in there. So it hits the borders on both sides. Sorry if you're hearing noise around the house. I can hear noise. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but doors and people going in and out. Okay. So now all I have to do is glue that on, and we've got ourselves a card. I think it's a special card. I don't know who's going to get it. Anyway, I hope you liked that idea. Hope it gives you some ideas on how to make Christmas cards. I hope you guys are having great holidays. Well, hopefully this will be up before Thanksgiving. I hope you have a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. If not, have a good dinner. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Share with your friends. And there'll be photos at the end. And if you are not a subscriber, think about subscribing and see lots more fun stuff. And hit that bell notification so you never miss a video. Thank you for watching.